Imagine if one of the most important factors influencing how well you age wasn't hidden inside an expensive supplement or locked away in a futuristic laboratory, but sitting on your dinner plate every single day. For decades, scientists believed that DNA damage was simply an unavoidable consequence of getting older. Every sunrise brought tiny injuries to the genetic blueprint inside our cells. Every breath, every meal, every stressful moment added another microscopic scratch. Aging seemed like a one-way journey. But researchers later discovered something surprising. Your body isn't passively watching this happen. Every second of every day, billions of cells are working around the clock to identify damaged DNA, repair it, recycle worn out components, and maintain the delicate systems that keep you alive. In fact, your body contains some of the most sophisticated repair machinery ever discovered in nature. The question is no longer whether these repair systems exist. The real question is whether our everyday choices help them perform at their best or quietly interfere with them. Research over the past several decades has revealed that certain lifestyle habits and naturally occurring compounds found in foods may support the body's own maintenance systems. They don't stop time, they don't offer magical shortcuts, but evidence suggests they may influence many of the biological processes associated with healthy aging. And this is where the story becomes fascinating. Some of the world's leading researchers, including physician and scientist Dr. William Li, have spent years studying how food interacts with the body's natural defense and repair systems. Rather than viewing nutrition as simply calories or vitamins, this growing field of research explores how certain foods communicate with our biology in ways scientists are only beginning to understand. The goal isn't immortality. The goal is something much more realistic and much more valuable. Living longer while staying healthier, stronger, sharper, and more independent. Because lifespan is only part of the story. Healthspan, the years we spend feeling energetic, mentally clear, physically capable, and free from major disability, may matter even more. Most people assume aging is driven by wrinkles, slower metabolism, or stiff joints. Those are the visible signs. But underneath the surface, aging unfolds through countless tiny biological events happening inside trillions of cells. One of the most important involves DNA. Think of DNA as an instruction manual written inside nearly every cell in your body. These instructions tell cells how to function, divide, produce energy, repair tissues, and respond to their environment. Unfortunately, this instruction manual faces constant challenges. Ultraviolet light, environmental pollutants, chronic inflammation, cigarette smoke, excessive alcohol, poor sleep, persistent stress, and even normal metabolism can all contribute to DNA damage over time. Fortunately, evolution equipped us with remarkable repair systems. Scientists estimate that our cells experience thousands of DNA injuries every day. That sounds alarming until you realize our bodies also repair an enormous number of these changes continuously. Most people never hear about what happened next in this scientific story. Researchers discovered that aging isn't simply about accumulating damage, it's also about how effectively the body responds to that damage. As we grow older, some repair mechanisms become less efficient. Chronic inflammation may increase. Cells that have stopped functioning properly can accumulate instead of being removed. Mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing structures inside cells, may become less efficient. Communication between cells becomes less coordinated. Instead of one dramatic event, aging often resembles a gradual decline in the body's ability to maintain itself. This shift has transformed how many scientists think about healthy aging. Rather than asking only how damage occurs, they're increasingly asking how lifestyle may help support the body's existing repair and maintenance systems. Nutrition has become one of the most intriguing areas of investigation. However, that's not the most interesting part. Researchers aren't focusing only on vitamins anymore. They're studying thousands of naturally occurring plant compounds known as phytochemicals. Unlike essential nutrients, phytochemicals aren't required to prevent classic deficiency diseases. Yet, evidence suggests many interact with important biological pathways involved in inflammation, oxidative stress, blood vessel health, immune function, and cellular communication. In other words, food may be sending messages to your cells. Take colorful berries, for example. Their deep blue and purple pigments come largely from compounds called anthocyanins. Research suggests these molecules possess antioxidant properties and may help support healthy blood vessels while protecting cells from excessive oxidative stress. Oxidative stress isn't inherently bad. Our bodies actually use reactive oxygen molecules for normal signaling and immune defense. Problems arise when oxidative stress consistently exceeds the body's capacity to maintain balance. Imagine sparks flying from a fireplace. A few sparks are expected, but if sparks constantly land on dry wood throughout the house, eventually damage begins to accumulate. Scientists believe maintaining this balance may play an important role in healthy aging, and berries are only the beginning. Leafy greens provide nitrates that the body can convert into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels relax and supports healthy circulation. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli contain sulforaphane, a compound researchers have investigated for its ability to activate protective cellular pathways involved in detoxification and antioxidant defenses. Garlic contains sulfur-containing compounds that may support cardiovascular health. Tomatoes provide lycopene, which has been studied for its antioxidant activity. Green tea contains catechins that researchers continue to investigate for their potential effects on metabolism and cellular health. None of these foods are magic, yet together they illustrate something important. The human body evolved in constant interaction with thousands of naturally occurring compounds present in whole foods. This growing understanding has changed nutritional science dramatically. Instead of asking which single nutrient prevents disease, scientists increasingly ask how entire dietary patterns influence the body's long-term maintenance systems. And this is where another surprising discovery appears. The timing of eating may also matter. For many years, nutrition discussions focused almost entirely on calories. Calories certainly matter, but evidence now suggests when we eat may influence biological rhythms that affect metabolism, hormone regulation, and cellular maintenance. Our bodies operate according to circadian rhythms, roughly 24-hour biological cycles influencing nearly every organ. Genes involved in metabolism, immune function, and cellular repair often follow these daily rhythms. Disrupting those rhythms through irregular sleep, frequent overnight eating, or chronic circadian disruption may affect multiple aspects of health. Research into time-restricted eating has attracted growing attention because some studies suggest allowing consistent periods without food may support normal metabolic processes and cellular housekeeping. One of those housekeeping processes is called autophagy. The name sounds complicated, the concept isn't. Autophagy literally means self-eating. It's the process through which cells identify damaged or unnecessary components, break them down, and recycle useful materials. Think of it as an incredibly sophisticated recycling center operating inside every cell. Researchers studying aging have become fascinated by autophagy because maintaining efficient cellular cleanup appears important for long-term cellular health. Interestingly, lifestyle factors including physical activity, adequate sleep, and periods between meals are all areas scientists continue investigating for their relationship with these natural processes. Notice the pattern emerging. No single habit determines healthy aging. Instead, many small behaviors appear to work together. That idea repeats itself again and again throughout longevity research. Yet the real discovery came years later. Scientists realized inflammation deserves just as much attention as DNA damage. Inflammation is essential. Without it, cuts wouldn't heal, infections would spread, immune defenses would fail. But chronic, low grade inflammation that persists over many years tells a different story. Researchers have associated persistent inflammation with many age related conditions affecting the heart, brain, joints, blood vessels, and metabolism. This doesn't mean inflammation is the enemy. It means balance matters. Dietary patterns rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, whole grains, olive oil, and fish have consistently been associated with healthier inflammatory profiles in many observational studies and clinical trials. These eating patterns also appear repeatedly in regions known for exceptional longevity. Interestingly, people living in these communities don't rely on miracle foods. They rely on consistent habits, daily movement, strong social connections, nutritious meals, regular sleep, stress management, purpose. These patterns appear so consistently across different cultures that researchers continue exploring how they interact to support healthy aging. And there's another reason this matters. Healthy blood vessels influence nearly every organ. Every heartbeat delivers oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products. When circulation functions efficiently, tissues receive the resources they need to perform maintenance and repair. This helps explain why cardiovascular health and brain health are deeply connected. Your brain consumes enormous amounts of oxygen despite representing only a small percentage of total body weight. Supporting healthy circulation therefore benefits far more than a heart alone. As Dr. William Lee often emphasizes in his educational discussions, many of the body's systems are interconnected. Food influences blood vessels. Blood vessels influence organs. The immune system communicates with metabolism. Sleep influences hormones. Exercise affects inflammation. Rather than isolated parts, the body functions as one integrated network. Understanding that network changes everything. Instead of chasing isolated solutions, researchers increasingly examine how combinations of healthy behaviors reinforce one another over months, years, and decades. And perhaps that's the most encouraging message emerging from longevity science. Many factors influencing healthy aging are already within our daily routines, not because they promise perfection, but because small, consistent actions repeated thousands of times may gradually shape how well the body's natural maintenance systems continue working throughout life. The most exciting discoveries may not be about finding one revolutionary breakthrough. They may come from understanding how ordinary choices influence extraordinary biology in ways we're still uncovering. And what researchers discovered next about one simple daily habit may be even more influential than nutrition itself. That daily habit is movement. For years, exercise was viewed mainly as a way to burn calories, strengthen muscles, or improve athletic performance. Today, scientists see it through a much broader lens. Physical activity is increasingly recognized as one of the body's most powerful signals for maintenance, adaptation, and resilience. Every time you move, your muscles communicate with the rest of your body. They release signaling molecules called myokines that influence organs far beyond the muscles themselves. Researchers continue to investigate how these signals may support healthy metabolism, immune function, and brain health. In other words, exercise isn't simply changing your muscles, it is sending messages throughout your entire body. This is where another surprising discovery emerges. Moderate physical activity creates a temporary challenge for the body. Heart rate rises, breathing becomes deeper, cells produce more energy, oxidative stress briefly increases. At first glance, that might sound harmful, yet scientists have observed that this temporary stress often stimulates the body's own protective systems. Much like lifting weights encourages muscles to grow stronger during recovery, manageable biological challenges can encourage cells to adapt. Researchers call this concept hormesis. The principle is surprisingly simple. Too little challenge, and the body has little reason to adapt. Too much challenge, and recovery becomes difficult. But the right amount may strengthen natural defense systems over time. This helps explain why regular, moderate exercise is consistently associated with healthier aging in population studies. The benefits extend far beyond muscles. Evidence suggests physical activity may support insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular function, sleep quality, cognitive performance, mood, and healthy inflammatory balance. And perhaps most remarkably, these benefits often begin with relatively achievable amounts of movement. Many people imagine they need intense workouts every day. The research paints a more encouraging picture. Walking, cycling, swimming, gardening, resistance training, dancing, and other enjoyable forms of movement all contribute toward a physically active lifestyle. Consistency appears to matter far more than perfection, but researchers later discovered something equally fascinating. Exercise and nutrition appear to work together. Neither replaces the other. A nutrient-rich meal provides raw materials the body needs. Physical activity tells the body where many of those resources are needed. Together, they create an environment that supports adaptation and repair. The same partnership exists with sleep. Sleep is often sacrificed in modern life, yet it may be one of the most overlooked pillars of healthy aging. During sleep, the brain remains remarkably active. Scientists have observed that memory consolidation occurs, hormones are carefully regulated, immune processes continue, and important cellular maintenance activities take place throughout the night. One particularly exciting area of research involves the brain's waste clearance system. For decades, scientists wondered how the brain removed metabolic waste despite lacking the traditional lymphatic system found elsewhere in the body. More recently, researchers described what is now known as the glymphatic system. Evidence suggests this network becomes especially active during deep sleep, helping move fluids through brain tissue and supporting the removal of certain waste products. Although scientists continue studying exactly how this system influences long-term brain health, the findings reinforce something many people underestimate. Sleep is not simply a period of inactivity. It is an active period of restoration. That means staying awake late into the night, sleeping inconsistently, or living with chronic sleep deprivation may influence much more than next-day energy. It may affect many of the body's natural maintenance systems. However, that's not the most interesting part. Sleep also influences appetite. Researchers have found that inadequate sleep can alter hormones involved in hunger and fullness, making highly processed, energy-dense foods more appealing. This creates a cycle. Poor sleep influences food choices. Food choices may influence energy levels. Lower energy reduces physical activity. Reduced activity affects sleep quality. Each factor influences the next. Fortunately, the opposite can also happen. Nutritious eating may support better energy. Regular movement often improves sleep. Better sleep may encourage healthier food choices. Healthy habits frequently reinforce one another in positive ways. This interconnectedness is one of the biggest themes emerging from longevity science. No single behavior acts alone. Every system communicates, and nowhere is that communication more apparent than inside the immune system. For many years, immunity was viewed mainly as protection against infection. Researchers now recognize that the immune system also participates in tissue repair, wound healing, removal of damaged cells, and coordination of countless biological processes. As we age, immune function gradually changes. Scientists sometimes refer to these age-related shifts as immunosenescence. At the same time, persistent low-grade inflammation may become more common. Understanding these changes has become one of the most active areas of aging research. Interestingly, many of the same lifestyle habits associated with healthy aging, including nutritious dietary patterns, regular exercise, restorative sleep, stress management, maintaining a healthy body weight, and avoiding smoking, also support normal immune function. Again, there is no magic ingredient. Instead, researchers repeatedly observe the power of healthy patterns. And this is where the conversation often turns to one of the most misunderstood topics in nutrition: supplements. The supplement industry is enormous. Every year, new products promise youthful skin, limitless energy, sharper memory, or dramatically slower aging. Some supplements have legitimate evidence supporting specific uses in certain populations. Others remain under investigation. Many have limited or mixed evidence. Researchers generally emphasize that supplements are designed to supplement, not replace, a balanced dietary pattern. Whole foods provide complex combinations of fiber, vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, proteins, and thousands of naturally occurring compounds that interact in ways scientists are still trying to understand. Isolating one molecule doesn't always reproduce the benefits observed from eating the food itself. That doesn't mean supplements never have value, it simply means context matters. Individual needs differ depending on age, medical history, medications, dietary intake, and guidance from qualified healthcare professionals. This balanced perspective is increasingly reflected in evidence-based nutrition. The excitement surrounding longevity research isn't about discovering shortcuts. It's about understanding biology more accurately. And perhaps the greatest lesson of all is this: healthy aging brings much earlier than most people think. Many chronic conditions develop gradually over decades rather than appearing overnight. Likewise, many beneficial habits exert their influence slowly. A single healthy meal won't transform your future. Neither will one workout or one good night's sleep. The power lies in repetition. Imagine placing a single drop of water onto a stone. Nothing appears to happen. Another drop, still nothing. Thousands of drops later, the stone begins to change. Our biology often works in much the same way. Small daily decisions accumulate. Researchers continue studying how these accumulated choices influence blood vessels, metabolism, inflammation, muscle strength, cognitive resilience, bone health, and cellular maintenance across the lifespan. Yet the real discovery came years later. Scientists studying people who live exceptionally long lives noticed something remarkable. These individuals rarely pursue health as a short-term project. Instead, healthy behaviors become part of everyday living. Meals emphasize minimally processed foods. Movement is naturally built into daily routines. Relationships remain meaningful. Stress is managed rather than ignored. Purpose extends beyond retirement. These patterns appear repeatedly in diverse populations around the world. Different cultures, different cuisines, different traditions, yet strikingly similar foundations. That consistency gives researchers confidence that healthy aging is influenced less by one extraordinary intervention and more by many ordinary habits practiced consistently. Perhaps that is why Dr. William Lee's educational work resonates with so many people. It shifts attention away from quick fixes and toward understanding how the body already protects itself. Our blood vessels constantly adapt. Our immune system constantly responds. Our cells continually recycle damaged components. DNA repair mechanisms work around the clock. Our metabolism adjusts to changing conditions. The human body is remarkably dynamic. Rather than fighting against biology, evidence suggests we can often support the systems evolution has already built. Of course, healthy living does not eliminate uncertainty. Genetics matter. Environmental exposures matter. Access to healthcare matters. Life brings challenges none of us can completely control. But research consistently suggests that lifestyle remains one of the most influential factors we can shape ourselves. That message is both realistic and empowering, not because it promises perfection, but because it recognizes the remarkable adaptability of the human body. Every nutritious meal is one opportunity to provide useful building blocks. Every walk is an opportunity to stimulate healthy adaptation. Every night of quality sleep is another opportunity for restoration. Every effort to manage stress is another opportunity to support physiological balance. These opportunities accumulate, and over years, those accumulated choices may influence how we feel, function, and maintain independence as we grow older. Perhaps the future of longevity will include new medications, advanced diagnostics, personalized nutrition, regenerative medicine, and discoveries we cannot yet imagine. Scientists around the world are actively exploring these possibilities, but while those discoveries continue, Many of the strongest evidence supported foundations for healthy aging remain surprisingly familiar. Eat a diverse diet rich in whole foods. Stay physically active in ways you enjoy. Prioritize restorative sleep. Maintain meaningful relationships. Manage stress in healthy ways. Avoid smoking. Limit excessive alcohol intake. Keep learning. Stay curious. Protect your brain by continuing to challenge it. Care for your heart because every organ depends on it. These recommendations may sound simple, yet they are supported by decades of accumulating scientific evidence. Sometimes the most powerful ideas are also the least glamorous, not because they generate dramatic headlines, but because they continue delivering benefits year after year. Healthy aging is not about chasing youth. It is about preserving function, maintaining strength, protecting independence, supporting clarity of mind, enjoying meaningful experiences with the people we love. The science continues to evolve, and researchers will undoubtedly uncover new insights in the years ahead. But one lesson has remained remarkably consistent. Our bodies possess extraordinary systems for maintenance, adaptation, and repair. The choices we make each day may influence how effectively those systems continue to serve us throughout life. The decisions we make today may seem small, choosing vegetables over ultra-processed foods, taking a walk instead of remaining seated, going to bed a little earlier, making time for friends and family, managing stress before it becomes overwhelming. Individually, these choices may appear ordinary. Collectively, they help shape the environment in which every cell in the body functions. And while no single habit can stop the passage of time, decades of scientific research suggest that consistent, evidence-based lifestyle choices may support healthier aging and a longer health span. That's why understanding the science matters, because aging is inevitable. But how we support our bodies along the journey is a story that continues to be written, one decision, one meal, one step, and one day at a time.